Hey guys, I'm gonna read you the story called P.S. I Love You. It's a One Direction story, so I hope you guys like One Direction. And I'm gonna tell you the character of the name of the first character. Sorry, messed with my phone. Waiting for food. Her name's Jade Higgins. She's very pretty. It says, "Hello, I'm Jade. Jade Higgins. Before you ask, yes, Paul Higgins is my father. I'm sorry, I'm not really good at this. Talking about myself. Well, I'm 17. I live in Cali with my mom. It's just the two of us. Dad and I haven't seen each other in years, but we talk as much as we can. I mostly keep to myself. I don't I don't really like big groups of people. Not only that, I've been bullied my whole life. No matter where I go, someone is trying to bring me down. 99% of the time, it works. I cut, yes, but don't judge me. My wrists are fully scarred, but Dad doesn't know. Mom tried to stop me once. That didn't work. I've never been in love, though I thought I was. Turns out life had other plans for me. I'll get to that later. This is my story. Chapter 1. It was late afternoon, school was just about over, and as always, I hid in the back of the class. No one really likes me here, between bullies and my boyfriend beating me in more ways than one, if you know what I mean. My teachers act like I'm not even a real person. They give me a 50% just so they don't have to see me in that class next year. Mr. Jordan was going on about some English test we had in a week. But no one really seemed to care. On the other hand, I was taking notes like crazy. Ring, ring, ring! My thoughts were interrupted by the bell dismissing us. I quickly gathered my things and made my way to my locker with my head down. Who said you're allowed in this hall? Amy, my main bully, stopped me. I just kept heading down I just kept my head down, not bothering to say or even look at her. I'm talking to you, fucking freak, she yelled, pushing me into a brick wall, making me fall flat on my ass. I honestly don't know what I ever did to her. I've been nothing but nice to these people, and this is how I get treated? Jay the Fag, the group sang as I turned, I turned around walking away. I felt a single tear slide down my cheek, but hurried to wipe it away before anyone else saw and had another reason to make me feel like shit. Well, you look rather slutty today. His voice made me sick in the stomach. I looked at my outfit and just sighed. I didn't even look that bad, did I? Look at me when I'm talking to you, Matt said, gripping my arm, then slamming me against the locker. I looked at him and then quickly back at my feet. Sorry, I said softly. Good, you fucking should be. Now come on. He scowled, dragging me behind him. Where are we going? I have to be home right after school. I lied. I just wanted to go cry. He didn't say anything, but I knew what was going to happen once he pulled me into the boys' locker room. After he had finished raping me yet again, he got up and looked at me. That's what you get for disrespecting me, you worthless whore. He hissed and left, leaving me in the boys' locker room shaking and crying. I never wanted this. I never wanted a boyfriend who treated me like this. I want a relationship like Allie and Noel from The Notebook, or Holly and Greg from P.S. I Love You, but no, I get stuck with this. I should have break. I've tried breaking up with him, but let's just say I broke a few bones. Falling down the falling down the stairs, I got dressed and headed out, only to be stopped by Amy and her preppy bitches. So, so you're a boy now? She started laughing. I started walking away when she grabbed my hair, slammed me to the ground. Ow! I screamed, making her and her friends laugh. They kicked me a few times, then turned around to leave. That's it, Amy. You're a fucking preppy slut. Who thinks she can get away with anything? I feel so sorry for your parents calling you their daughter, I yelled as they were walking away, only for her to stop in her tracks. Oh fuck. Oh fucking course, with my damn luck, a teacher was standing behind me. Office, now, she hissed. Are you fucking kidding me? The amount of times they have bullied me, hit me, and made my life a living hell, and the only time I stand up for myself, I get in shit? I yelled at Miss Young, who looked rather pissed. Office, she yelled. No, fuck this shit, I screamed, storming out of the school. I finally made it home. Mom's car wasn't there, so I guess she must still be at work. Perfect. Just what I needed. Time alone to cry and cut. And always, I walked in the front door quickly locking it behind me, then headed into my room. Why? Why me? What have I done? I yelled as tears fell from my eyes. About a god, about a god. 10 minutes later, I jumped from the shower. Tears kept falling, and I didn't know what to do anymore. Seemed like everything I do isn't enough. I grabbed my razor blade and sat on the tub. I began making fresh cuts. Each one got deeper and deeper. After I made 5 cuts, the blood was pouring down my arm into the water. I cried and cried. Honestly, I didn't know what I've done to make everyone hate me, to make my boyfriend rape me. I got out of the shower soon after that. I changed into trackies and a tank top, putting my hair into a high ponytail. It was I was in the kitchen making a tea when I heard the doorbell ring. Oh, please no, not now, I sighed, slowly making my way to the door. It took me a minute, then unlocked the door, expecting to see Matt, but instead 2 police officers stood before me. Great. They're here about what happened at school. Just great. Are you Jade Higgins? One of the officers asked. Yes, I said nervously. Jade, we are sorry to inform you that. And that's where this first chapter ends. Oh, I'm gonna leave you guys waiting. Just kidding. We're gonna go on to the next one. You guys actually thought I was gonna leave you hanging right there. You guys really thought that I was gonna leave you hanging. We're sorry to inform you that your mother has passed away, the officer said. I instantly fell to my knees and began bawling my eyes out. No! You're lying! I screamed. We are sorry, the one said, making me cry even more. Let me see her, I demanded. I'm not sure if that would be. Listen, if you're saying my mother is dead, I should see her to make sure it's really her. Now take me, I yelled, cutting him off. They both looked at each other, then nodded their heads. It feels like the longest ride of my life to the hospital. As I was walking to the room with my mother was in, I began feeling sick, shaking, and everything else. The doctor looked at me, then gave me a weak smile. He pulled a blanket over the person's face, and I ran to her. Sure enough, it was my mom. Mom, no, please don't leave me! I screamed, holding there, holding her. God damn, this person can't spell. While tears poured out of my eyes. How could this day get any worse? Why? Why did God take my mother? Why not me? Mom had an amazing life. Me, on the other hand, didn't. The police dragged me away from my mom, and I tried to fight to stay with her, but it was no use. They brought me back to my house, and the one cop stayed with me for a bit. Is there anyone you can call? He asked. I I can't tell Dad, I said in between tears. Would you like me to call him? He asked nicely. I just nodded and gave him the number. He left the room to talk to my dad. I curled up in a ball on the floor in Mom's favorite sweater, crying. About 10 minutes later he came back. Your father said he'll be on the next flight out. He gave a weak smile. You should get some sleep. How can I get sleep when my mother is dead? I hissed. I know it's hard, but just try, he smiled. I just nodded and headed to my mom's room. I turned around and looked at the cop. Can you stay here until my dad gets here, please? I asked. He smiled and nodded, and I kept making my way to my mom's room. Once I opened the door, her scent hit my face. It felt like I was crying. I guess I must have fallen asleep. Well, when I woke up, it was daytime. Maybe I dreamt it all. Maybe Mom was in the kitchen making tea. As much as I wish she was, I knew she wasn't. I walked into the kitchen and saw my dad and the cops sitting at the table. My dad noticed me and ran up and gave me a hug. You couldn't tell he'd been crying. You could tell he had been crying, but he tried to stay strong. I hugged him back tightly and just cried into his chest. Why, Daddy? Why did Mom die? It should have been me, I said into his chest. He pulled away from the hug and looked me in the face. No, it shouldn't have been either of you, he said, and stuck in such a hurtful voice. I just nodded my head and cried some more. This is by far the worst life ever. Later that day, Dad and I were sitting on the table drinking our tea. So, Jade, do you want to come live with me? He said. I looked at him and was about to say something when I heard Matt yelling from the front door. Open up, you worthless hoe! My head shot towards the door, then back at my dad. Before I could hurry to the front door, my dad was already there. Who the hell are you? Matt hissed. Jade's father. Who are you? My dad hissed back. Jade's boyfriend. My dad turned and looked at me. I just nodded my head. Please leave, my dad said, but Matt refused. My dad pushed him out of the way and slammed the door in his face. A few minutes later, Matt was screaming at the door, calling me every name he could think of. Yes, I'm moving with you, I said quickly, making my dad give me a weak smile. Dude, I love her dad. Her dad's awesome. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, I only have 5 more minutes left with you guys. Like 4. I'm sorry. A week later! That's what it actually says. Chapter 3, a week later. So, it's been a week since Mom died. A whole long, sad week. I've been living with Dad. We came back to England 2 nights ago. Thankfully, I got out of that town. No more Matt or Amy. Now maybe I can be myself. Probably not. I'll tend to be a magnet for bullies. But I just hope all of that will change, and soon. I woke up around 9 a.m. and headed to the kitchen. Morning, everyone. I smiled slightly and poured water into my mug. Morning, they all said back. I smiled and joined my dad and his new wife and their kids at the table. So, Jade, get ready 'cause you're coming out with me today, my dad smiled. I just nodded and finished my tea. I really don't want to go anywhere. Just kind of want to lay down and die. And I know I can't. It took me about 30 minutes to finish getting ready and look like this. There's a thing that I will put in the thing that I will put down there. I looked at my wrists and felt like crying, but instead I just put a bunch of bracelets. Dad still didn't know, and I'd like to keep it that way. He's all I have left. I walked down the stairs and my dad was waiting for me. You ready? He asked. I nodded. All right, let's go. He laughed, and we headed out the front door. He still hasn't told me where we're going. It was a silent drive, but it was nice. About 10 minutes later, we pulled into a driveway with a massive, beautiful house at the end. Wow, that house is beautiful. Oh my god. Let me check the time. Ah, not that much time left. My jaw hit honestly My jaw had honestly hit the floor. Whoa, I said in a daze. Awesome, right? My dad laughed as we walked into the front door. Whose house is this? One Direction's. He smiled at me as he knocked. Yes, I know who One Direction is, and no, I don't like them. I mean, it's like some of their songs, I, but I'm not crazy over them personally. A few minutes later, a boy with brown hair, brown eyes opened the door. Paul! He smiled widely at my dad. Hello, Liam, he said back. Please come in. He laughed, allowing us into this amazing house. Follow me, he said as he led the way to the way I guessed is the living room. Boys, look who's here. Liam, I think his name is, said to the rest of the boys sitting on the couch. Paul! They all screamed, making me jump, which caused them to all laugh. Great, right? Lads, this is my daughter Jade. My dad smiled. I quickly looked at my feet. Jade, this is Liam, Louis, Zane, Niall, and Harry. My dad continued as they pointed to each boy. Hello, love. They all said at the same time again. I must admit, they were all pretty good looking, but not my type. Not one of them my type. I only have 2 more minutes. I only have like a minute with you guys left. So, um, well, it goes into Niall's POV, point of view. Oh my god. Jade is wow. Harry's point of view. I think I just died and went to heaven. William's point of view. Jade is so beautiful. Her eyes are stunning. Everything about her is perfect. Louis' point of view. I wonder if she likes carrots. Zane's point of view. Drop dead beautiful. Oh my god. And then I'm gonna go back to her point of view. We stood around awkwardly for a moment. Then my dad spoke. Okay, I'll be back later. Have fun, he said, walking towards the door. Wait, what? I spun around too fast. I have things to do. So you're staying to hang out with the lads. He smiled. Dude, are you on some type of crack? Jade, Dad, behave. Then he left, leaving me alone with 5 teenage boys who I've never met before. Great parenting. Just what I needed right now. Bye, YouTube!